Hi guys, TD4LC here, back with another video. This time is Chase Young, Defensive Rookie of the Year analysis. If you enjoy, make sure to head over to my channel, TD4LC. Come and like and subscribe, check out my other videos. Let's get into it. So first of all is to look at the sacks, and he had 7.5 on the year, and he's just got so many different weapons that he can use during his pass rush that means he gets home so often. And yes, 7.5 sacks on the year isn't a huge amount compared to some of the guys in the league like Aaron Donald, like TJ Watt, but for a rookie to come in and put up these numbers along with the forced fumbles, the QB pressures, everything like that, it is actually really impressive, and you start to see why he was Defensive Rookie of the Year. Okay, now in this first clip, the Washington football team are lined up in a 4-3, and it's actually a really wide alignment. You know, there's no one covering the centre, there's no one actually over the top of the guards. It's really, really wide aligned, so that middle of the field is wide open, but they've got confidence in those linebackers to come up and fill the gaps if they were to run something like a trap or an inside zone at the middle. And what you're going to see is the running back's actually going to go out to the flat, but he's going to chip Chase Young on the way out to the flat. And what actually happens is he knocks that outside shoulder of Chase Young and almost helps him spin back inside. He aids his momentum, and the left tackle's taking quite a big drop backwards. So then Chase Young just uses his momentum, spins inside, and has a free run at the quarterback. But what impresses me the most is that Carson Wentz doesn't actually come down straight away, so he sort of ducks out of the sack, but then his ability to turn around and have another go at him and to grab onto his leg. And as you can see, he eventually slaps the ball out of Carson Wentz's hands. Unfortunately for Chase Young, it's recovered by the Eagles, but it's a great effort play and a lovely spin move. So this play is more from a 4-3 over formation, and what you're going to see here is the Eagles are going to run a read option. And this is really clever from Chase Young. It's really well designed. What Chase Young is going to do here is he's going to absolutely sprint towards the mesh point of this play, and instead of committing towards the running back, he is absolutely fixed on the quarterback at all times here. What you sometimes see when you've got a quarterback who's capable of read options and plenty of read options in their playbook is that you'll see the defensive end crash in to take the run, and then one of these linebackers will scrape around the outside in case the quarterback does keep it. But in this case, the Washington football team keep those linebackers right in the middle of the play, so if the running back was to take the ball, they could climb up and stop it at the line of scrimmage, and Chase Young is just on quarterback responsibility on this play. Obviously, he would try and stop the running back if he did take the ball, but his #1 responsibility is the quarterback on this play. And you can see it's really well designed because the quarterback thinks that Chase Young's running so fast that he must be trying to, you know, bend the edge and try and get to the running back, so he keeps the ball, and then Chase Young just slight change of direction and just carries on running straight at him. Massive sack. Okay, so now in this play we've got another over front, but this time Chase Young is actually playing as a stand-up defensive end, and I really like what the Washington football team did all year with him. They actually dropped him into coverage quite a fair bit, and then they stood him up at times, and then hands in the dirt a lot of the time. So, you know, they just mixed up his different roles. They gave the quarterbacks different looks every time, so sometimes he would start on the ground and drop back into sort of a hook curl zone. Sometimes he would stand up like here and then bend the edge really, really nicely. He's so versatile, he's such a good athlete, which is something I'll touch on a little later. It just means that they can use him in such a variety of different ways. And you can see here, he sells the pass rush really, really nicely. He puts his hands out in front of him and initiates contact with the left tackle, so he thinks that he's coming for a bull rush. And then he just sort of rips his shoulder down to the side and gets his shoulders behind the left tackle, so he's almost got a free run at the quarterback. And from that point, the left tackle's sort of holding him as he's running towards him. But it's really clever from Chase Young. He can see that Teddy Bridgewater's about to throw the ball, so instead of just trying to dive at the man, he can see that that ball's come all the way back and he's ready to unload the throw. So he's just slapped at the ball comes to the floor, and Washington football team have got the ball back again. So this is going to be the last Chase Young sack that I show you. But again, we see them in this sort of wide 9 alignment, and what it does is Chase Young's lined up really wide on the line, and so are also the defensive tackles. It just means that it's isolating one-on-ones for the defensive tackles against the guards and for the defensive ends against the left tackles. It just gives them as many one-on-ones as possible, and they generally do this in sort of long 2nd down or 3rd down situations where they don't think the opposition are going to run, and you know they're forced into pass, and it gives them those one-on-one pass rush opportunities. And here for me, the left tackle's way too soft. He takes way too much of a drop and just invites Chase Young onto him, and he's such a strong guy. Again, you almost see him do the same thing. He runs into him with his hands out front before sort of ripping that left arm away and pushing his shoulder down. His pad level's lower than the left tackle, and he just drives all the way towards the quarterback for another great sack. He's just got so many different weapons, that bull rush, the spin move, the rip move. He just does it all really, really well, and then he's clever enough to, you know, go for the ball when he needs to instead of just going for the man every time, which we see from some defensive ends. So I couldn't watch all that film and not include this clip. This just highlighted a massive point for me. Chase Young picked up so many double teams this year because he is such an effective pass rusher. And you can see here, the Rams are in an I formation. The Washington football team are in their 4-3 over front again. Number 81, the left tackle and the left guard are all going to fly across to Chase Young. So he's fighting against 3 different offensive players at one point. But what does that mean? 3 players on one side of the line means that there's a one-on-one on the other side of the line. And Washington football team's pass rush has been really, really good this year. A one-on-one opportunity, a great sack, and you know it comes because Chase Young's such a threat on the other side of the line. Okay, so we've seen Chase Young and how his pass rush is so effective. Let's have a look at him in the run game. So this first example is from the Arizona Cardinals game, and I am a little bit confused as to what the Cardinals are doing here. I'm not quite sure if it's a read option or if this is just a straight inside zone, but equally the blocking scheme as well. You've got Chase Young on the edge of the line, and all of the front side of the O-line are going to crash down to the right-hand side, leaving Chase Young completely unblocked. I'm not quite sure what the play was here. We've seen them run so many read options. If it was a read option, then Kyler seriously needs to reconsider his option of handing it off to the running back here. But either way, Chase Young crashes down really, really nicely. He takes advantage of the fact that there's no one coming to block him, but he shows off his great athleticism here, covers the ground really, really quickly, and drags the running back down for a 3-yard loss. Now this next play is really, really nice use of his hands. We've seen how powerful he is, how quick he is, but he's also got really skillful hands as well. You can see here the right tackle wants to get off the line and climb up to that linebacker, but you can't just leave Chase Young unblocked. You've got to make sure that you at least seal him off before climbing up to the second level. And you can see Chase Young gets a good grip on him with both hands around the shoulder pads. He just sort of uses him as a lever and puts himself into the backfield. And the running back's barely taken 1 or 2 steps and he's already got Chase Young in his face making the tackle. It's a great shed and just shows that he's really capable of using his hands as well as that athleticism to go with it. So this play is actually from 4-3 under, which, you know, I haven't shown you any other clips of that so far in this video. They've mostly played out of wide 9 and the over front. They know exactly what they want to do here. This is really, really well drawn up. So the 3-tech defensive tackle is going to try and penetrate that B gap. He's going to go straight between the left guard and the left tackle. And then Chase Young is just going to scrape inside and try and target that A gap where the left guard's moved from. And it's really good. The defensive tackle gets nice push. The left guard, you know, arguably over pursues a little bit. It's really clever because they also send a linebacker simultaneously at the centre. So you've got the centre occupied, you've got the left guard occupied and brought over to his side, which opens up that A gap massively. Chase Young flies through it and wraps up for a really, really nice open field tackle again. It's well schemed up run defence, but it's great athletic plays by Chase Young to get into those positions still and make the plays. And now, just while I'm talking, I'm going to roll the clip of the fumble return for Chase Young. You know, that really highlights his athleticism for me. You know, that ball is on the ground almost at the 50-yard line. And he picks that ball up, runs it all the way back, and yeah, he's got some blockers in front of him, but that athleticism to pick it up, he's got it in one hand. It is virtually like a tennis ball in his hand. He makes it look so small, and he's got such good pace to get to the end zone. And just to sum up, really, I was just so impressed when I went back and watched the film of Chase Young. The way that he performs for a rookie is really, really experienced. I said the same sort of thing about Justin Jefferson. They look like they've been in the league for a few years. They look like they're really polished. He's got multiple weapons. That's what makes him so effective. He's got that bull rush. He's got the swim move. He's got the spin move. And, you know, he's got simple block sheds with his hand on the line. You know, he really can do it all. And that's what makes him so elite. You've also seen why maybe his numbers aren't as high as they could be because of the double teams, the triple teams that he faces. But overall, I'm really excited by the prospect of Chase Young. I think he's going to take a massive leap in his second year again. And I can't see any reason why Chase Young cannot be challenging next year along with all the other defensive ends who have been in the league for many years. Thanks for making it to this stage of the video. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, like I said, make sure to head over to TD4LC. Got a lot more content, and make sure to subscribe to Jackson Kruger Sports as well. I'll see you in the next one.